All right. They say make hay while the sun shines.
It's us again.
And this is a third video in the same day. I keep coming up with the topics. As we talk about one thing, something else pops up. And we go, oh,
That's what usually happens,
yeah.
you know.
And make hay while the sun shines. I'm not going to put it off. I rather just make it now and then I just postpone until later. So you get them as they get released on YouTube or Facebook or whatever the hell it is. I
Stay
post them.
tuned.
Yeah, you get them all eventually. Someday. I don't know when. But this one is about taxes. I've been wanting to make this video and I was going to make it by myself. But I don't I didn't want it to be one-sided. I wanted it to be a discussion and I wanted more people, but I have
It's
my sister
just
and
us.
nobody comes over, so it's just going to be just me and her. So, and she have a really far off view from me anyways. And this is the beauty about having people who are always opposite your mindset every so often. And I'd love to get, and I'm gonna make this video again with somebody else, and I'd love to get someone.
Feedback.
I'm gonna make this again. I'm definitely gonna make this video again about taxes, and I'd like to get someone who pays taxes, and I want to hear what they have to say, because a lot of people who complain about paying taxes are kind of idiots. I'm gonna say it like that. It's the nicest way to put it. Because if you think about taxes, and I'm trying to tell her, but she's not getting any parts of it. But think about paying taxes again. A leader knows how to take a big problem, make it small. Now we're going to shrink taxes into small block. Taxes is simple. Taxes is like living in a house with a bunch of people. Because that's all taxes is. You're living in the country with a bunch of people. The country needs money to pay the bills. A house needs money to keep the house afloat.
Mm-hmm.
You got to pay bills in the house. The house needs light, water, all that stuff, repairs, everything. The house needs stuff. Well, your house is a country. You know what I'm saying? Nice. Now you get my point?
I did not
Okay.
not get your point.
Okay, now.
I know your point.
Now, when you pay taxes, this is where I think a lot of people get lost when it comes to taxes. You know, before I say something, you say your piece.
My piece is, yes, we need to pay taxes. I never said we never needed to pay taxes. Never said that. Everybody have to pay taxes. Because that's how stuff gets done. Okay? Never said you never needed to pay taxes. My problem is the taxes is unfair. Okay?
Duh.
Because the CEO, the boss of the house, okay, don't pay any tax. Or if they pay taxes,
At all.
minimal. Okay? And then the tenant of the house, the people who lives in the house, they're the ones who are paying taxes. And taxes don't, in a household, taxes don't necessarily have to mean money. In a household, taxes means there's somebody have to do the dishes and somebody have to repair the this and somebody have to take out the garbage and somebody else have to do. That's what taxes is in a household. The house needs get run.
But you can do that in a country too.
I know that.
You can physically do that in a country too.
But the head of the household, the CEO, the boss, don't do none of that shit. Sorry, people. I said, yeah. Don't do none of that. And the people in the house is the one who does it. My problem is you're the CEO and you don't pay taxes at all. And you might have one kid and a house on the hill and a boat and you have a country house and a summer house and a winter house and all of that. And your secretary who pays rent and have 4 kids, she pays $500 million in taxes and you pay none. You don't pay her enough so that she can pay taxes, but you pay none. And you don't see anything that's wrong with that. Well, I see something that's wrong with that. That's my thing. That's my tax system.
Okay. Well, now what I gotta say is, taxes. This is where everybody get the taxes issue all kind of messed up. This is where the ignorance. I'm gonna try to be as nice as I can. But I'm say throw my car, I'm gonna let it fall. So if me lick you, sorry. This is where the ignorance, the stupidity, and the nonsense step in. Taxes has never been a dollar amount. Not on your life, your grandpappy's life, your great-great-grandpappy's life, your great-grandpappy before him, so on and so forth. Has never been a dollar amount. And left alone will never be a dollar amount. My great-great-great-great grandkids and so on will still never pay a dollar amount. And that's how the ignorance, stupidity, and whatever the hell it is you want to add to that list is how they're tricking you. And most importantly, your fears. I know I keep talking about people's fears. But their fear, your fear is what they're using, your ignorance and your fear. Them two things, they're using it to trick you. Okay? Your fear that they're using the money somewhere that they're not using it, which is definitely not true. Because they're using the money where it's supposed to get used.
Schools,
even
roads, the hospitals, yeah.
Even if they take some of it, it's still just a very, very small percentage of the whole. You're talking about, think about
Hurricane relief.
Think about a pizza pie.
Natural disaster.
Yeah, think about a pizza pie. The money they actually take and spend on themselves is maybe a sliver of the entire pizza pie. So what if they take the sliver? Big flipping deal. Get over your damn self. This is why they have agencies to make sure those people who take that money go to prison for it.
Yeah, but what about the people who are not paying into the pizza pie? That's my problem.
Well, I know. We're not get to that part there yet. We still talk about the fears and the ignorance.
Okay, all right then.
Okay, the fear and the ignorance. Let's get to the fear and the ignorance first. Well, I know. So, and if we keep paying our taxes and do it properly and put the right people in charge of our taxes, because that's the biggest problem in it. Putting the right people in charge. Stop letting our fear, our ignorance, and our stupidity take a hold of us. All right, myself included. And I've conquered my fears, and I've conquered my stupidity, and I've conquered my ignorance. All right, and I did that a long time ago. Because when I used to pay taxes, I paid my full share of taxes. I've never taken out anything. I've just put it in.
They say what it is, and we put it in.
Put it in and take it. I didn't do no deductions. I didn't do anything. I just paid my taxes. Whatever I said it is, that's what I paid, and I walk away. Why? Because just like living in a household, if the house is short of money, that money's got to come from somewhere. And if the house ain't got the money and it ain't coming from somewhere, then you're going to lose something. The house is going to have to lose something. Something's going to break. You're going to start complaining. It's going to start a chain of problems. So why wouldn't I want to pay my taxes or my fair share in the house? Do you get my point? So stop worrying and let these people fool you because you want to be scared. You want to be stupid and ignorant.
Everybody
for whatever reason. For whatever reason. And they're going to keep using it against you until you wise up and stop being fearful. Pay your taxes. It's not that simple. Taxes Again, think about it like this. And until you realize that this is what it truly is, if you live in a house filled with people, everybody got to pay their share. Everybody got to pay to keep the house up. If you live in a house and you got kids, well, your kids ain't working, so the two people that actually works or the one person that works got to pay the whole bill.
But the person taxes is not, you just said it, taxes is not necessarily money. So kids in the house pay taxes.
See? See?
They have to do dishes. They have to do laundry.
See?
They have to take out the garbage. They have to sweep. They have to clean.
Exactly.
They pay taxes too.
Right.
Everybody have to pay their fair share.
Exactly. But
Fair being the operative word there.
yes, we're gonna get back to that. But let's
Yeah.
go.
We're not getting to that yet.
Because we're still talking about just the concept. We're still on the concept.
Okay, we're still on that.
Still on the concept. because I don't like my videos to be just straight talk. I like context to the conversation, so you get the full explanation, and then you start talking about stuff. You know what I'm saying? You explain, you give information, and then you break it down.
Okay.
We ain't no damn Fox News here.
No, we're not.
We're not
Don't even.
we're not gonna
Don't
make stuff
even.
up.
Don't even. We're not making anything
Okay
up.
then. So so this is not opinions. We're gonna give you information, and then we're gonna start breaking down the information. All right. So now, households, like she said, people need to divvy up. If you can't pay money, you got to divvy up the work. Fair enough, right? Okay. Now, put that aside. Now let's talk about get over the fear part. Once you get over the fear and start thinking about, once you get over the fear part, right, and you realize that your taxes is literally what I just said, it's just like a household, and you literally just paying into the house to keep the house afloat, whether that's doing work in the house or summing up money. Now, if the person have the money, don't want to give money, but yet still everybody else on the bottom is actually working, the house is still going to fall, right?
Amen.
Okay, now, scratch that off the list. Let's go down a little further, backtrack, because she got me all off topic here. Let's backtrack down to taxes is never a money amount, never an actual financial number. It's not a number. Okay, when you pay taxes, do you pay a money amount?
You pay a percentage
Your
of what
taxes
you make.
is always and forever will be a percentage. And this is how they're fooling you. Focus. This is how they're tricking you. They're lying to your faces, and you're letting your fear and your ignorance overshadow your judgment. That's how they're tricking you. They're putting, I paid $2 million in taxes. If they say they paid $2 million in taxes,
How much money
You-
do they work?
you
How
should
much
be
money
the
do
smart
they
person.
work?
You should go, hold up. If you paid $2 million in taxes, how much fucking money did you make?
How much did you make?
For you to pay $2 million in taxes, how much money did you actually make to be paying $2 million in taxes? Because you have to make a lot of money to pay $2 million in taxes. So let them complain all they want to, because it's still and always have been a percentage,
Of what
people.
you make.
And you want to know how much that percentage is? I'm going to tell you, but I still want you to go look it up. Please, 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 I'm begging you to go look it up. It's 3%.
Of your income, of your earnings.
3. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3%.
That should not be across the board.
That's it. 3%. Just 3. So if these people are complaining about 3%, when you pay 3%, everybody at the bottom pay 3%. Everybody in somewhere in the middle pay 3%. Everybody in the middle pay 3%. Everybody somewhere near the top pay 3%. Why shouldn't the people at the top pay 3%?
Yep.
It's not a finance, it's not a figure, it's not a big lump sum of money. It's always a percentage.
Percentage of what you make.
This is how they're lying to you. This is how they're fooling you and tricking you by putting up a huge number and saying, I'm paying this much in taxes.
Yeah, it's not a number.
But you are dumb enough to fall for it. And I'm not going to be nice about that one because you're dumb and stupid and fearful to fall for it. There's no one being nice about that one. That's a fact. You're stupid enough to fall for that trick. That's a blatant, stupid, ignorant trick you fall for every single time. Because it's 3%.
Because you refuse to do your own research.
Refuse. Refuse. Absolutely refuse.
You take what somebody says as gospel instead of going to do your own research. Don't ever take my word for it. Don't take his word for it.
Don't. Not my word. That's
Go
why.
and do your own research.
And that's why I said I want you to look it up yourself. Go look it up. The United States IRS? IRS. Go look it up. It's literally on there.
3%.
Everybody pay 3% in government taxes across the board. That's all they ask everybody to pay. No matter if you're broke in the dirt or rich on top of the hill. 3%, that's all they're asking you to pay. That's it. 3% of what you earned for the year. So when these people go, oh, I paid $2 billion in taxes.
How much money did you make?
Now, if they paid $3 billion in taxes, do some math, people. There's all kind of calculators for that.
Tens of billions of dollars to be paying 3.
Okay. You paid $3 billion in taxes. How much money did you make? Come on. I paid 3% taxes, and it's what, $1,000? It's like $1,000 or something like that. So I make what? I think it's. I don't know. I'm not gonna do math. I have to get my calculator for that, and I ain't good no calculating right now. We're making a video, okay? But 3% of 3,000, it's $300.
Give or take $300.
Yeah, $300. So $3 billion. So if somebody makes $3 billion, you know they make a couple $1 trillion there.
Yeah.
Do you get the premise now? $3, they make $100. $3, $30, they make $1,000. That's how that goes. So when people put up these astronomical millions and billions in taxes, just know on the other end of that number, it's some gigantic numbers. They make way more money than they need to. So stop letting them trick you and lie to you that they don't have money to pay taxes.
And that they're helping you out when you pay taxes. No, that's not how that works. That's not how that works. Nobody helps you out when you pay taxes. When you pay taxes, you're helping yourself out. You're helping your neighbors out. You're helping to fix the road that you drive on. You're helping the school that your child goes to. You're helping the hospital that you might go to one day if you get sick or your kid gets sick. That's what your taxes do. That's how your tax dollars work. Your tax dollars help to pay the military. Your tax dollars help to pay the school bus driver. That's what your tax dollars do. They're not helping you out when you pay taxes. You helping them when you pay taxes because they're not paying none. And there goes my problem. Because if the person off the top is not putting any money in the bottom, it puts strain on the person on the bottom. Because then, if the road on your street needs fixing and you already pay tax, and the guy who live at the top of the hill on that drive on that same road that don't pay any taxes, you know what's gonna happen? They gonna start a fundraiser, and you gonna go back and put your $2 and your $20 in it to help fix the road, because you say, you know what, I drive on this road and I need the road fixed, so I'm gonna give them $20 more when you already paid taxes to get that road fixed. But because Mr. Big Shot didn't put any money in there, you have to put more. That's how that works. Oh, he don't need to pay taxes because he's rich. I've heard people say that about that orange guy. I've heard people say that.
Leave politics out. Leave them people out of it.
I'm saying, I've heard people say he don't need to pay taxes because he's rich. But if he don't pay taxes, it means there's more strain on you.
That's all it means. Again, take the big problem, make it smaller. Think about it as you living in a house with people. Take this massive thing that you think is so big and just out of this world. It's not that big and complicated. Taxes is really simple. If you live in a house with 10 people, if all of you are not chipping in equally,
it's more strain.
It's
on
more strain.
else.
And if you think about this like this. If you are not working and the person in your house who makes more money than everybody in the house not paying towards the house,
not paying.
what the freaking point they're living in the house for? Why are they still living in your house? Shouldn't they get the hell out of the house and get their own house then?
But even the person who, not the person who is that's working and making the most money. If there's someone in your house that is not doing anything at all, and remember I said everybody in the house pay taxes, including the kids, because everybody have to do their part. If there's somebody in the house that's not doing any part at all, they don't work, they don't do dishes, they don't clean up after themselves, they don't do anything. They sit down in the living room that you just cleaned and play on their phone, let's say, and the window is open and the rain is falling, and you have to remember, oh snap, I left the window open. And you run down or run from where you are and close the window. That's more strain on you when the person is sitting right there and couldn't close the window.
Yeah.
Because if the rain comes in, the floor is going to get wet, and then the floor is going to be messed up, and then you got to pay somebody to fix the floor and all of that. So that person, everybody have to pay their fair share. Everybody have to do their part. That's how taxes work.
Don't get me wrong. There is exceptions to every rule. There is it. And there will always be an exception to every rule. But not what you think here. The exception to this rule would be someone is disabled and physically cannot work.
That's different.
That's the exception to the rule.
That's different.
You get what I'm saying? Somebody who can't take care of themselves. That's the exception to the rule.
But that's where taxes come in. Because
And
if
that's where
somebody can't take care of themselves, the taxes is the person who takes care of that person. That's what your tax dollar does.
And then that is also a joint effort. It's not a single person effort. It's a joint effort from
yes.
everybody in the house,
Everybody
pooling their money together,
pooling their taxes.
Their taxes, the group money, come together and help take care of the house and the person in the house who also cannot work.
Yes. Yes.
Do you see how taxes work?
That's how taxes work.
Taxes is really not that complicated, but yet still, you keep letting these people trick you, lie to you, and fool you. Every chance they get by throwing up these big-ass numbers.
Because they don't want to pay taxes. They don't want to pay taxes.
And successfully doing it too. Oh, they're taking their money and giving it to immigrants. But let me ask you a question. If one of those millionaires, just one of them, no, you know what? Perfect example. How did Ron DeSantis and the governor of Texas find 30,000, whatever the hell it was,
Yeah.
to bust these people from Florida
Oh.
to New York?
He flew. One of them flew people.
Oh, flew them. How did they get them here?
Tax your tax money.
But I thought they didn't have enough tax money.
Your tax money. That's what they used to do that. Wherein it would be so much cheaper if they fed them.
Or if they take all the money from those same rich people, the people who actually have money in the country, process them properly.
And give them jobs.
Listen to this. Listen. Focus here. Take the tax money they would have took from the rich. Let the people actually pay taxes. Their little 3%. Take that excess money, because they would have so much more money. Take the excess. Take the extra empty homes that are sitting in Florida right now, vacant. Nobody lives there. Put them there and put them to work cleaning up the state of flipping Florida. And then pay them to clean up the state of Florida, and then turn around and let them pay taxes back to the state of Florida. Whoopoo!
Yeah.
Problem solved.
But guess what, too? When rich people get tax break, get extra money in their pockets, what do you think they do with it? Rich people buy another house. Rich people buy another boat. Rich people put their money in the bank and sit on it. When you and me, as a poor person, get tax break or get extra money in our pocket, what do we do with it? It flows right back into the economy. We buy food with it. We pay bills with it. We buy clothes for our kids and all of that. And it flows right back into the economy. That's what we do. We put our money right back into the economy. Okay? They go to other countries and chill on a new yacht. That's what they do.
Yeah, so their tax break go to other countries, while our tax break come right back to
Right back
to the country that you live in.
Back
And this
here.
is not just our country. This is every country,
Every country.
worldwide. Every time the rich in any country get a tax break, other countries get that tax break. Not the country they live in. Never works like that. Which is strange to why you keep giving these people tax breaks. Don't you want to build your country economy? So why you keep giving these people to give money to other countries? Wait, what? That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
You want to charge them more money, so they make sure they spend the money here.
They're not spending the money here. They don't ever spend the money here. You get $1, you spend it right here.
Here's a lesson, and I really hope y'all take this lesson to heart. Rich people don't spend money.
Oh, they don't. They don't ever use their money.
I promise you this much.
Oh, no.
Rich people
do not
spend money.
No.
I promise you, and you can take this and you can research it to your heart's content, and you will find out that rich people, they never spend their money. You know what they do? They go to the bank, pull out a loan, and then pay off that loan. Perfect example. Look at the power couple. They're not gonna like me after this one, but I'm gonna put it out there anyways. What's her name? Beyonce and Jay-Z. Do they own their home or they mortgage their home? Yeah, they have a mortgage on their home. Perfect point. And they have more than enough money to buy that house like that. Why do you think they mortgaged their home instead of purchased it? Because rich people don't spend money. They never have and never will. Because, here why. When you buy a home, when you mortgage a house, when you file your taxes, you get a tax break every time
On the house, on the mortgage.
on the mortgage.
But if you own the house free
When you
and
own a
clear,
house, you don't get a tax
you don't
break.
get a tax break. You don't.
So rich people don't spend money. So the money never comes back into the economy.
Yep.
So they put it in a trust somewhere, and it goes to some other country, and they give it away to this, and they give it away to that country. And if you notice, you never hear them say, "Oh, I donated my money to some sorry, I keep getting a phone call. You never hear they say, "Oh, I donated money to some person in Detroit," and Detroit really need a revamping.
Yep.
You never hear them down there fixing up Detroit. You never hear them fixing up Chicago. You never hear them fixing up down south Florida, that Daytona Beach that
Yeah,
really needs some
but
work down there.
now- but
You never hear them
nowadays,
fixing
yeah.
up some parts of the United States that really need some work. You never hear them fixing it up. You hear them fixing up Africa, Nigeria, Guatemala, this one country, that the country over there, that. You never hear rich people fix up the United States.
But they don't get.
It's always
Taxes for that.
donations from some corporation or some other corporation or some other corp. It's never there. It's not their money coming back into the country. Because of tax breaks. And then when they turn around, they don't pay taxes. And then you fall for that trick. You fall for that trick that they pay too much taxes.
When they don't pay none.
When
at
they
all.
don't even pay 1%.
None.
But you're there struggling to pay your 3%. I overheard this conversation one day. I was talking to I was working at a store. It was a store, yes. And I was on the phone, and I heard this guy talking to his accountant. And he said to the accountant said to him, "How much taxes do you want to pay?" And he goes, "Oh, how low can you get it to?" And he goes, "I can get it to about one point something." No, it wasn't one. It was like point something percent. All right. He said, "How much that come up to?" The guy said, "Like about $1 million or something." So which means that guy could pay well over $1 million in taxes.
You could pay 3%.
It could have paid his 3% taxes.
Please.
But because you, and it's not him, and it's not his accountant's fault, because of you, keep listening to these people, lying to you, keep coming up with excuses, because they're all excuses. And what they say about excuses? Excuses like assholes, everybody got one. Because of you, listen to these people lying to you about where your tax money supposedly is going. And not where it's coming from. It's not where it's going, it's where it's coming from. And that's the thing. You can go anywhere, but where you come from, where it's I don't want to mess this up. We can go places, but when you come from somewhere, back home, that's the problem. When you leave home, you know what you're leaving with. But when you're coming from somewhere else, what you're bringing with you is a problem. Because you can bring home bugs, you can bring home germs, you can bring home whatever. Okay? So you can keep worrying about what these people are claiming that these taxes, whatever nonsense is.
Yeah.
And not paying attention that these people, excuses are not coming out of nowhere. The excuses,
It's all to benefit themselves.
exactly. Their excuses not coming from anywhere. Where are these excuses coming from? Where are these reasons coming from?
Do your own research.
Does it really make any sense for them to not pay taxes?
Do your research.
Because 3%, you pay 3%. I pay 3%. Yes, I'm disabled, and I still pay taxes.
3%. I'm disabled, and I still pay my 3%.
Still pay my taxes. Because I need the services my taxes provide. So what if I share with somebody else from another country? Because they're running for their lives. I have empathy. She have empathy. Do you have any empathy?
I don't worry about the people that are running for their lives because guess what? America was built on people who ran for their lives. All the people here except for the natives, ran from somewhere to come here. We all ran for our lives to come here from somewhere. So these people now who are running for their lives to come here from somewhere, why are we fronting on them when we ran for our lives from somewhere to come here? All of us did. Every last one of us ran from somewhere to come here. All of us did. If you are not a Native American, you ran from somewhere to come here. You physically might not run, your ancestors did. Your mom, your dad, your great grandpa, your great grandma. Somebody ran from somewhere to come here. We can't front on them because they're just doing exactly what everybody else did. If it's not working, and listen, this earth is not for one people or one set of people. It's one earth. God is out of the dirt making business. He's not making any more dirt for anybody for anywhere. So the dirt that we have, we need to share it. We need to share it for everybody. There's nothing wrong with people coming from somewhere because it's not working over there and come here. There's nothing wrong with that. You talk about open borders. In Europe, half the borders there are open. You can walk from one country to another.
You see people dying and killing all over
And
the place?
nobody not dying and killing everybody. There's open borders there. You walk from one place to the next place.
And that's been there for a long time
And
now.
that's been there forever. You understand me? Some places you really don't want to walk to, but yay, the border is open.
But hold on, here's another thing. Here's one of the biggest misconceptions with the United States. I mean, it's massively misconcepted. It's a massive misconception. And I don't know how it's so misconcepted. The United States is technically a bunch of mini countries joined together.
That's all it is.
You might call them states, but they're technically countries.
They are countries.
You know, New Jersey is a country from Pennsylvania is a country from
Delaware
is a country from Florida is a country.
Yeah.
If you even apply 2 ounces of brain cells to this stuff, you realize that Florida and New Jersey is 2 different countries. Pennsylvania and Florida is 2 different countries. California and New Jersey is 2 different countries. Wyoming and California is 2 different countries. As close as Texas and Florida is together, they're still 2 different countries. Why? They have all different kind of laws, and they're all
everybody's law
separate.
is separate.
We may share 1 or 2 things, but everything else is totally separate. That's a country.
The only thing we share is a president. That's it.
That's
This
it.
is the only thing we share.
That's it.
Everything else is separate.
We don't only share the
Everything
same
else is
laws.
different. We only share a president. That's it. That's all we share.
That's it. We don't share anything. Nothing we share. We don't share
The
anything.
laws in New Jersey is different from the laws in Pennsylvania.
The license plates are different. The driver's license is different. The car.
How you get them is different.
Yeah, everything is different. Healthcare is different. I mean, when I say everything is different, everything is different. To get help in the countries in those states are different. The policing is different. Everything is different. You're literally from Florida to Alabama is a whole different set
country.
of laws. It's a different
Some of them even
country.
have different accents.
Different accents.
Next door to each other and have different
Yeah.
accents.
It's a different country. We have open borders here in the United States. So why can't we just open up the rest of the borders? What's the problem? What
And it has
is
nothing to
the
do with
problem?
your tax dollars. Trust me on that. Nothing to do with your tax dollars.
So you worried about your taxes going in the wrong place when you're literally wasting, when they're quite literally putting your tax dollars in the wrong place, in front of your eyes, doing it, and you're doing absolutely nothing about it.
Nothing.
In hindsight, you're actually approving them putting your tax dollars in the wrong place. You're approving it. So you fear that they're using your tax dollars wrongfully, but in actuality, you're approving them
to put
using your tax dollars
in the wrong
wrongfully.
place.
So you see how your fear and your ignorance and stupidity is literally working against you. So you're fearing people running for their lives. So instead of you helping them to make their lives better, so they can put more money into the United States economy, you're wasting money by trying to keep them out of the country. And that's literally what you're doing. You're wasting money.
Ain't that the truth?
Because it's totally a waste at this point. So I don't quite understand the logic behind your nonsense. And I'm sorry, I don't think I need to be nice on this one, because sometimes you have to tell people exactly what they need to hear.
True.
Not what they want to hear, but what they need to hear. And you're being ridiculously stupid on this one. Your taxes, you need to pay them. You need to stop worrying about what people are doing with them. Start putting the right people in charge of using your taxes.
Vote.
Start choosing the right people to make the right decisions on who,
So that
where.
everybody
Yes.
pay taxes.
So that everybody paid a fair share of taxes. So if they can, so if the rich won't pay 1%, I guess everybody needs to pay 1%.
Everybody needs to pay 1%. If that's what works.
Because you can't pay 3% and they pay 1%. That don't work.
That don't work. That's not fair.
Because here's another thing. If you don't even know how to do math, 0 from 0 is still what? Still 0. If you don't know how to do math, get a calculator. You have one. If you don't know how to find somebody who you can trust, ask them 0. Ask them nothing from nothing is how much.
Leaves nothing. You gotta have something.
So if you ask people who have no money to give you money, if I call you stupid, then I'm well within my right at that point. And if you want to prove me wrong, please prove me wrong. Don't just say I'm wrong, but prove me wrong, because 0 from 0 is still 0. But when you have people with billions in the bank, let me say this again, not millions, but billions in the bank, and they don't want to pay taxes, but they actually have the money sitting. It's not doing nothing, it's just sitting there. Again, this money is just sitting there, not doing nothing. The money just sitting there, not doing nothing. Okay? And you're telling me they can't give you 3% of that money that's just sitting there, not doing absolutely nothing. But it's cool for them to come to you who have 0 in the bank or in your pockets and ask for money, something you absolutely don't have. Mm-hmm. But them who have it sitting around, not doing nothing, we shouldn't ask them for it.
Nope.
Now.
Vote.
Now, again, if that's not stupid,
go out and vote.
Please tell me what that is.
Go out and vote. Go out and vote. Elect leaders that can regulate fairness. Elect leaders that is looking out for your interest. Go out and vote.
Something have to change. And it's not them have to change. You have to change. You have to change the way you see things. And you have to get rid of your fears. Because that's the biggest part of it. You have to stop being so scared of everything. And stop worrying about the government doing some deep sea diving, whatever the hell it is you're thinking. So what if they are? Are you dead yet? Nope. Are you starving?
Maybe.
Nope.
Maybe. And if you are starving, it's because people are not paying their fair share of taxes who can afford to pay taxes. If your kids are sick and you can't afford to take them to the doctors, it's because of the people who can afford to pay taxes and are not paying their fair share.
If you're watching this on a smartphone, you can't be starving.
How many people have smartphone and starving?
You can't be starving and watching this on a smartphone.
How you do? Sell the phone and go buy food?
You better go sell that damn phone and buy food.
Sell a phone and go buy a phone.
Or go to the look on that smartphone. Look up the closest food pantry.
Bing.
Oh, they have those. And you know who's supposed to be provided taxes to pay for those? Oh yeah, the people at the top.
People at the top.
But if you keep voting for people who want to let those people pay less taxes and you pay more, and well, let me see, you're starving. Something's wrong with the way you're thinking. And it ain't smarts. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm trying to be realistic. There's nothing mean about what I'm doing here. I'm being very, very realistic. I'm a realistic person. I see things the way they are. It's cool to be hopeful. She's a Christian. I was a Christian until I realized that, hey, look, that hopeful shit ain't working for me. You can be hopeful, but you need to be
the Bible
realistic about
tells
it.
You can be hopeful, but God help those who help themselves. You have to do the work. You can't sit down. There's no magic. You're not going to snap your fingers and things happen. There is no magic. You have to do the work.
So,
Go out and vote.
So like I tell you, Jamaicans have a saying, and boy is this saying the realest thing I've ever heard in my life. Never really understand it till I got a little older. Walk for nothing,
Better than
sit down for nothing.
Do the work.
So,
At least if you never get nothing when you walk, you get exercise.
okay then.
All right?
Okay then, it makes a lot of sense. I have done stuff, didn't think nothing was going to come out of it, and something miraculously happened from it. So walk, do something, just get up and do it. So you guys can sit there and think something magically going to happen for you, or God's going to provide it for you. But like she just said,
Gotta do the work.
you got to put it in. If you don't put the word in, ain't nothing ever going to happen for you. You want to be a Christian? You know what? I'm going to leave that for my Christian video.
All right, people.
Peace.